So you want to be a breeder, huh? Huh? You want to be a breeder? You're gonna be rich? You're just gonna be peddling dogs and just be this famous person? Let's talk about it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Zulunation. Like and subscribe.
You're not gonna be rich and definitely not gonna be famous. Why I don't call myself no kennel? Why I don't call myself no breeder? Because I believe when you call yourself a breeder, then, let me tell my story. Like saying, I was 10 years old when I was in South Africa, and I remember I watched a DMX CD. I saw my first bully. I didn't know it was a bully. I was calling the pit bull because I'm like, oh, that's a bigger pit bull. I thought pit bull comes in different sizes, as do humans. You know, like, I'm not as big as Shaq, but I'm not as small as other people. But I'm still a human. You know what I'm saying? Years later, move out here. I get my first red dog. It was red and white. Name was Buster. Then I added to that, and then I had two dogs. And then seeing how they add the loyalty, the love, the friendship, the camaraderie, you know what I mean? It made me fall in love with the dog. And then the guy that I got the dog from, we became friends. And so learning like, oh, you can mix the genetics, you know what I'm saying? So the obsession grew. It wasn't that I was going to him to learn to do that. It just happened. And through that, and I'm not saying you gotta have my story, but myself, the point I'm saying is, I'm sorry, I'm Zulu. So every time I say something, I gotta translate in my language to translate to English. Like, so sometimes my words are everywhere. But it just happened naturally. I never chased it. I saw a dog, I went to buy it, and then the steps of buying it, having it, and all that, and being friends with the person who did it, and then understanding the genetics and how you can mess with it, temperament, and all that, that's when it really started growing. So it was step by step. That's a dog, man. A breeder is somebody who sees somebody like the Hulk on TV and goes, oh, I'm just going to go buy a dog and just start breeding. And then the breeder is disappointed when the dog doesn't sell the way they want to. Because when you start selling for money, you set prices. And then people think your dog is not a certain price, they don't buy. And then when they don't buy, you think your dog's not good enough because you are doing it for the money. So you treat the dog bad, or you have some feelings to get rid of it, try to buy another dog. But when you're a dog, man, you love what you got because you got it because you love it. And so you create more of what you love. And then if people want it, then you give it to them. Catch my drift? And I'm not going to sit here all day telling you about, oh, you know, like examples of if dog, let's say, for example, things you got to deal with sometimes. Females in heat, two males, they start getting at it. Sometimes if you're not at home, let's say if you have them in cage, I know friends where they had their dogs in kennels, you know what I'm saying? And then the female was in heat. And the dogs were so driven, they both got out 1-1 and do it. My bad, bro. My mom called. So, yeah, it cut off. But the dog that, died was his favorite dog. But he wasn't there because when the girl was in heat, the dog was jumped out. They dig through the kennel and they died. The same one died. It was his favorite one. You know what I mean? So it's just part of the game. Like saying, you got to be ready to deal with a lot of things. And it got to be a lifestyle because if you a breeder, then you have cap space. I'm not saying not have expectations from your dog, but I mean like your ceiling is just right there. So things end fast. Example, oh, I breed a dog, you don't like the dog. Instead of now nobody's buying the dog, instead of keeping the dogs, I'm gonna get rid of the whole litter, just drop it off somewhere or do some dumb things. But if you was the dog, if you're a dog man and it's a dog that you love, you will love those puppies too and raise them because not every puppy sells. Not every dog's a hit. The Hulk is a one-time hit, 5 to 10 years. It happens. But most of the time, bro, it doesn't happen. And you're not going to be super rich. You're not going to be famous. You're just going to be another dude. And it get you to a place where you use it. But, I mean, I don't need it. I'm a respiratory therapist. My wife's a nurse, so I don't need it. So I do it out of love. So I'm saying of the dog. And that's what I'm about. I'm not going to sit here and tell you every little details about being breeder. I just wanted to show you the difference I feel like, why I never call Zulunation no kennel. Because Zulunation is actually about my natural bloodline. I'm from South Africa, from the Zulu tribe. So it's just my family thing. And I do this too, like, so my kids could look back and be like, man, you know, Dad tried to teach us something. You know what I mean? And if my son wants to continue with this, he can. If not, no, my daughter too. But I don't call myself a breeder for those kind of things. You know what I'm saying? Because too, when people hear breeder, they hear peddler. But we know there's no such thing because they choose who they want to call peddlers because everybody does it. People sell Ocelotso, people sell French Bulldogs, people sell Dobermans. They sell different kind of stuff. You think what they come out of the air that people don't, you know what I mean? What, like set it up like, oh, I like this, I'm gonna breed it. Like, chill. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a breeder. I'm a dog, man. You feel me? There's a thin line, man. There's a thin line, and you gotta respect that line. You gotta respect that line. Like I said, I never started this because I saw somebody on YouTube or something, and I'm like, I'm gonna be famous now. I bought a dog that I like, and you know what I'm saying, went from there. But I wanted to keep it short. You know what I'm saying? Like, just short and simple, because I'm going too far already talking. But it's Zulunation, man. You know what I'm saying? It's Zulunation. Stay safe. Like and subscribe. All that, man.